Welcome to 420 Hemp Talk Radio, brought to you by the National Association of Cannabis and Hemp. This show brings experts from all over the country to share information, resources, and provide insight that will benefit our communities. One community, one platform to collaborate, share ideas, network, promote your business, and stay connected. I'm your host, Shelly Harrison. Our featured guest today is a very good friend of mine, and we do a lot together in women's networking that we're both in, Eva Vennari. And I'm very happy to welcome you, Eva, to the show, and I'm excited about our topic. So welcome to 420 Hemp Talk Radio.
Thanks, Shelly. It's exciting to be here. I think this is a great topic, and more people need to know about it.
I think so too, and I really want to get some questions answered because I know, a lot of people, what we're going to be talking about today is CBD. And, specifically, some of the, really good questions that people want to know about before they even, start using it or applying it, right?
Yes.
So a little bit about Eva. I want to, just share with our audience who she is, and she's going to tell us a little bit more. Eva, the founder of the Elevate Institute, is a formerly sick corporate ladder climber turned holistic practitioner, and she works virtually with high performers and their secret weapon to stay in the game without burnout. I know we've all had burnout at some point, right?
Yes.
It's science-based, no trends, no fads, and no drugs.
Ever. No drugs, ever.
Never. So Eva, I'd love to get right into this. Are you good?
I'm good. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Let's dive in. So tell us who you are. Who are you and what you do? Let's hear it.
I'm a person who's raised my hand to be in service. I said, I want to be a part of a change and start part of something bigger. And that led me into this road post being sick, into learning about how the body works, tuning into its natural ability to heal, what the body needs, and using the science that we know and sometimes science that we don't know to make the what very, very clear. So I take the guesswork out and give you back some time that possibly you don't have right now that's making you burned out. That's the who I am, really. Like, if you say I'm always working, that's just me. I'm always working.
You are, right? I know. And what I love is that you're very invested too. I know we recently had you do, well, maybe a couple of months ago, we had you do a Facebook Live. And I was just plastered to my monitor, watching and listening to what you were sharing about the face and, just some of the things that you can learn just by, looking at someone's face. So,
yeah.
And if anybody wants to watch that, it's, we could put that in the show links too.
That was a lot of fun to do, by the way. That was that was the first time I'd given that particular presentation about how you can tap into rebuilding your own healing energy, by looking at the lines on your face. So that's what it was, is how can I rebuild the healing energy, which is part of what I use the CBD oil for, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but we will get into that. Yes, definitely. But we'll make sure that we put that particular show in the show links, in the show links. That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Sound right. So Eva, tell me, what was your resistance to CBD?
Well, I do a lot of networking. And when you do a lot of networking and you run into your circles of healers and people who have natural products, you'll oftentimes run into well-meaning salespeople, representatives of companies, maybe MLM, direct marketing, and the overstatement of what cannabis could do. And you're hearing my cat in the background, so sorry. He just wants to be a part of everything.
Can we see your cat?
Let's see.
On this show, we have animals.
Come here, Cameron. This is Cameron.
Aww,
and he
Cameron.
does get,
Cameron.
I use CBD oil on him too. He's 19 years old, and he has lower back pain. So.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that because we have a puggle and she has some serious issues with her back hind legs.
Look at how he
Yeah.
loves us. Okay, all right.
Oh, so sweet. Bye, Cameron.
Yes. Yeah. So as they age,
Oh,
they have problems with their bones and stuff, just like we do. We feel stiff.
oh yeah,
So
of course.
there's a lot of misinformation about there about what cannabis can actually do of any kind. And if they were talking about it cures cancer, it's the cure all to everything, every disease you've ever had or an addiction you've ever had. And I thought it was an overstatement. There needed to
Mm,
be more information and more accurate information, not just excited, I want to sell this to you information. And so that was
yeah.
my initial resistance was I don't know enough about it.
Mhm.
And I think that's where a lot of people are.
Right. And you became educated about it, right? So you just found the resources and really understand the product.
Well, it came to me. So oftentimes I receive phone calls as a practitioner from various different vendors.
Hmm.
And again, the same thing would happen. I wouldn't even have to leave my house. I'm getting called by the CBD vendors, if you will. And, oh, would you like to carry CBD as part of your No, I'd lose my number, please. And it was this one guy, a sales associate from a Florida company. And I says, nah, I hear a lot of strange things about CBD. Unless you have something other than it cures it all, I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to you. And so my my very Scorpio way of saying get away from me turned in my favor. Cameron's really loving this conversation. So
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, and the salesperson says, well, I don't believe it cures everything either. My ears perked up and I says, tell me more.
Oh.
So that's where the information started to be received. And I says, now we're on equal ground. Tell me
Mhm.
from your perspective what it's all about, how it works, how it ties into the body, and how I might use it to improve the quality of performance of the program that I offer my clients. And that's how I
Yeah.
got started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think and you may not, I'm not sure, but through Connected Women of Influence, Lizzie Renee wrote a book about the 52 tips on CBD and using CBD and what, the wellness and health of the product. And I
Yes.
guess, that's, I didn't really read through it, which I probably should have, because I had a friend who suggested that I try it. And, she's a health and fitness instructor. And I thought, well, gosh, if it's coming from her and I've known her for years, she just said, Shell, you're going to love it. And I thought, okay, well, I've never used it before. And I was a little timid and a little reluctant, but then I thought, you know what? It's not going to hurt. If anything, let me try it. And it was very interesting, because I think they, like you said, it doesn't cure everything, but there are things out there, products out there that, that we can really trust. And there's products that we can't trust.
Yeah, I put everything into good, better, get best categories. And so it comes
Mhm.
down to quality, what type, what's in it, how it's processed. All of those things do matter. I mean, there's
Yeah.
regular CBD, there's tincture that comes that has the THC in it. And then you've got the full spectrum CBD, which is what I tend to use. But there are people that
Yeah.
are all over the map. And for whatever they need, you have a resource.
Right, exactly. And I think the resources is to be considered, because you want to make sure that whoever that person is that's, selling it or offering it, that they're well educated on the product and, that it's a good, reliable product, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
quality absolutely matters. How it is
Yes,
processed is an important thing to know about.
that's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And why did you consider using this for your clients, with your
Well,
clients?
in my work, it's all about absorbing minerals. I do
Mm,
mineral balancing. And oftentimes people think about minerals and toxins as well, it's what I'm lacking in minerally and it's what I'm too toxic in. And I'm like, everything's binary.
yeah.
There's always a balance. So the balance requires you to be able to absorb. And if
Mm,
you've ever been around town and seeing the CBD infused coffee, CBD infused, alcohol, whatever the
so
drink
that.
is, right? So why do they do that? The question, why do they infuse it with whatever that item is? It's because CBD oil, or I should say full spectrum in particular,
Hmm.
is excellent as a delivery. It lowers the body's whole stress level down. And when
Yeah.
you're either stressed or you're relaxed and able to absorb. And
Hmm.
if you can take something that'll immediately put your body into a state homeostasis, if you will, put it
Yeah.
into that state of rest, relaxation, rejuvenation. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready for my massage, basically. You know,
My gosh.
that's what you
Yeah.
want. And so I wanted a way to speed up the result and help people absorb their minerals more quickly, more effectively, and therefore get to the next stage of healing faster. And that meant less time with me, more time
Yeah.
with their family, more time pursuing their dreams. That's the goal. Yeah, that is the goal.
Yeah. No, and I love that you say that, because I think, when you start really looking at CBD oil and gosh, is it really for me? I have a lot of my friends that, from the one that's selling it, she was even saying, oh my gosh, it's like night and day, and she's able to sleep easier at night. And her clients that buy it from her are just, they want more. They want it. They're constantly getting it. And if they run out, they're just,
Well, that's something to look at, because I tried, I'm on my own program as far as taking minerals, and it's never about, I'm sorry, I've got cat hair everywhere now.
Oh, it's okay.
It's never about, do I need to supplement? It's I need to now because of the way foods are processed. But the question becomes with what? And so when you're being very specific with a program like mine, the Reveal program, then you want to make sure that what you're taking is actively absorbed. And I tried taking a break from my supplements and just taking the CBD oil by itself. And I have to say, it made me more tired.
More tired. Oh.
Yeah, it made me more tired. It knocked my body into a state of, for me, a lymphatic dump. So on the left side, we have 75% of our lymph trash repository, if you will. Everything that the body wants to like the waste management is over here. Yeah. And so this is going to be gross. A really icky smell came out of my left armpit for a while I was taking just CBD oil. And it's because there's nothing that it's delivering. It's just putting your body into a state of relaxation. And so you're detoxing, but you really don't have the tools inside your body to rebuild. So that's why it works so beautifully with something that fortifies your body. You want to put it with something. Yes. Yeah.
Supplements. Yeah. Because you don't want any stinky odor, right?
That was just my personal reaction. Other people were having headaches. Some people were having like fungus come out of the bottom of their feet. Some people it was good.
Gosh.
Amazing, like weird stuff. And I'm like, all right, so it's not actually healing it. It is forcing the body into a strange place that I didn't like on its own. And you can actually, you can, at least with CBD that has a THC in it, you can get addicted to it. So you have to be a little, you have to be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anything like that could be addicting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. So what have you discovered by adding CBD to your client programs?
So I had a theory just based on what that rep was telling me about his CBD oils. It really helps the delivery of the minerals and whatever else you're giving your body, because it lowers the overall stress factor, which is part of the main thing of what I'm trying to achieve, is lower the stress in the body. And let's get this straight. Stress is not the drama of what goes on around us and whether or not Susie has an affair with, so-and-so. That's drama.
That's actual drama.
That's drama. Stress is the chemical relationship and mineral imbalances inside the body. It's a physical.
Thank you for pointing that out too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when you can bypass and correct the imbalances to a degree, so that the body starts to calm down, because we have a natural endocannabinoid system ready to receive. I know, it's a word that
How could you say those words so eloquently?
Slowly, Shelley, slow.
I love it. We have fun here, right?
Because I like to talk fast. But
I'm following you.
This one I had to really slow down. So the endocannabinoid system in our body, it's built in, it's there, it just never is tapped into with anything else. It's not provided in any other food. So when we process the cannabis, there's a lot of people who believe it's God's food or whatever they name it, but they're like, this is God's gift to us. Well, maybe possibly. I don't know about that, but I don't know of any other food that taps into our endocannabinoid system for delivery of minerals the way that this does.
Yeah. And I've heard that before too, not just from you. And I have a question. I know there are a lot of people, and in fact, and I was actually taking this too. I was taking Zoloft when my mother died. And, this is going back several years. And because I just couldn't cope, it was 1 year that after her death. And I thought, you know what, if I would have had CBD then, maybe that would have been an alternative, along with my other vitamins and everything. But don't you think that, when you look at, what's out there on the market in terms of the drugs, the Zoloft and all of, those other, medications that people can get addicted to. When it comes to CBD, do you think that that's a great alternative, or is it something that really should be, case by case with each person?
Well, you still want to self-medicating. I don't like that prospect. You want to have somebody who's been where you are, has an idea of like what you want to achieve with your life as far as your health goals are, and then use that person as a guide. Like somebody like me who's a health coach.
Exactly.
As well as
I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
right.
Be really careful.
Exactly. We want to reach out to you.
Yeah. For guidance, because
yeah.
The what dosage, where do I start, what kind do I use, that is case by case. You are right. Is it for everybody? It depends on a few things. I know a few people who have adverse reactions, but most don't. And he's gonna
what kind of adverse? Cut us off. Got a tail in your face, huh?
Yes. You won't leave us alone. But I didn't get to finish the rest of the question. So and I got distracted. I'm so sorry.
No.
So the question. I know. Help refresh everybody. What was the full question again? It was can it?
Go ahead.
Okay. So can it help with things like addictions? And this is something that I found after the fact. So you have medications that are made up of chemicals. Chemicals don't process the same way as natural food processes in the body. Natural food processes in the digestive tract. Medication, guess what? You don't pee it out ever. It stays in your body unless you do.
Oh, wow.
Unless you do a detox protocol. It is scary. So here's the fun thing. Fun fact. As people go through a program like a detox, they get what's called healing reactions. And oftentimes, healing reactions, yeah. And so clients of mine have noted to me, hey, Eva, I haven't had dental work done in a while, but my body is getting rid of some old medication and I'm suddenly numb over here, right? So we never lose medications, and they stay in our body causing, guess what, stress. That's where your cholesterol issues come in, your high blood pressure comes in, your other imbalances that can cause things like hypothyroidism. All of those you can contribute to all of those issues with something as simple as taking a medication for life. So take it short term, my professional opinion.
So we'll definitely have to talk after this episode, because I have a couple of personal questions that I want to ask you, and I won't ask them here.
Well, and there's a part 2 to that answer. And the part 2 is, can this help overcome addictions to things like opioids? Turns out that yes. So the opioid is an addiction. It's a chemical addiction as well as an emotional one, right? So when you take the CBD, it reduces the stress in the body, and it actually helps to recover from and displace the need for an opioid without going through any sort of, what's that called when you come off of something?
I know the word. I know exactly what you're talking about.
We're having too much fun.
Withdrawal.
That's it. Withdrawal symptoms.
I got it.
Yeah. So people who've been stuck on opioids forever, and of course that causes liver and kidney damage, and it's not irreparable. It's just hard. So that's part of the work that I do as well. It's like, if you've been addicted to something and you want to come off of it, it's not a weaning effect. It's a let's displace this and let's just.
We had an internet interruption. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I see.
Can I hear you now?
Yep.
Okay, good. So kind of, I think you did answer that last question, right? We're good with that last question. Okay, good. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Eva?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. And if you think of it, then we'll get that feedback from you.
Okay, good.
And are there other reasons to consider using CBD?
Well, the addiction one was one I didn't know about at all until it was introduced to me as being part of this conversation. And so those who think that they've been stuck with an addiction of an opioid, this would be a really great solution.
Hmm.
Oftentimes people will say, use it for cancer patients when pain becomes too difficult. Absolutely, but we're not talking about full spectrum CBD. Now we're talking about the CBD oil itself, the tincture,
Yeah.
and that's at very high doses. And that again needs to be considered in effect with somebody who's familiar with cancer, using that for pain management. So
Right.
the other is that same tincture, again, not full spectrum, but the other, including THC in it, is really good for episodes of epilepsy.
Oh, that's interesting because I was watching a Facebook Live and it was actually coming out of a university hospital. And I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could. Otherwise I would have, mentioned it fully. But they were talking, it was from the epilepsy unit of that, hospital. And they were talking about giving CBD to their young patients.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there's something more interesting about that is now they're offering it in vapes so that you don't just have to smoke it, because you don't really want children to be smoking.
Right. Well, don't you just put it under the tongue though, right? There's different ways of doing it. Under the tongue. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's under the tongue, there's vaping.
But it doesn't really taste that good either though. I don't
You know
like the
what?
taste of it.
It depends on, again, the quality and who you get it from. There's flavored ones, and oftentimes if you have a little bit of ginger.
Oh, ginger.
Yeah,
Like,
you get
like peeled ginger or is it liquid ginger?
Like the sushi ginger, what you get with your sushi.
Okay. Yeah.
That works really well to cover up. There's some sort of balance that it brings back to the palate that the ginger helps with.
Interesting. So basically then you would put the drop on underneath your tongue, and then you would put the ginger in your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're holding on. You're holding on to it's right under the tongue there for about 30 seconds or so. And if you wanted to take it back with water, you've got that weird taste in your mouth. So then you just chew on. Yeah.
So ginger is the solution.
It's one of them. Yeah.
One of them. Yeah. So what should a person look for in a product? Because there are so many on the market and it can get confusing.
It totally can.
Oh.
I would look less about what is available to, I want to say, retail stores, smoke shops. Look for the brands that are made for medical use. Okay. And they're labeled differently. They're not as fun looking, they're not as colorful, and they're not as bright, but they're going to say what they're made of on it very clearly. A full spectrum CBD oil has less than, I believe it's 0.3% THC in it. Those who are concerned about having any THC exposure, like myself, I just don't like it. I don't like how it makes me feel, so I don't do it. And that is clear. So it's very clearly labeled and it's regulated. And all CBD in the country has to be, if it's made here, it has to be under the federal program. Otherwise, the flowers and whatnot have to be processed over in another country, whether it's India or China or somewhere else. So if you can get quality organic CBD that is made from a flower, a whole plant actually from here in the States, that is your best option.
And do you know people that can provide this product for our audience?
Oh gosh. I want to say one of the ones I use, and it's over there. I can get it. I don't have it top of mind. But another one is Miracle. Miracle brand is a good one that's made for medical uses. And let me go get the one that I get.
Okay. Do, 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 do. We're just waiting for, there she is.
There. I found this on, oops, I know it's hard to see. It's hemp oil.
Yeah. Cool. So we just gave them a plug, right?
Probably. Yeah. It's an option, but you're looking at the tincture that has at least the milligram should be labeled on. I don't know how well you can see it, but a lot of the things have a measuring.
Just to make sure that you take the right dosage.
Yeah, and there is, you can't really overdose if you're just taking a full dropper, but I start people off with a 20 milligram value and see how they feel, and then if they need more, we can pop it up without issue. But that helps with general anxiety. You know, that feeling that like, oh, I think I left something in the house. We have that little things. A lot of people have that all the time, and I start them off with a 20 milligram dose, and that can help significantly.
Yeah. Well, you are definitely a great resource for all of, I mean, just CBD in general. And, and I would love to, take a look at maybe having you back another time, because I know there's other greatness that you can share with our audience, Eva. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today with Eva Vennari on 420 Hemp Talk Radio, and she is the founder of the Elevate Institute. And this particular episode, if you are thinking of trying, or you're already, incorporating CBD into your lifestyle, we encourage you to really listen to the full episode here with Eva. Just great information, Eva, that you've shared with us. And is there anything, kind of, because we've run out of time, but if you have anything specific that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I can always share the face reading free gift. More than welcome to learn more about yourself without taking off your clothes in front of yet another person to see if you have anything going on with your liver, your kidneys, your heart, your circulatory system. I can see all of that with just your selfie. So if you go to the elevateinstitute.com, yeah.
So if you were to see someone over Zoom, so for example, me, so let's say if you were to, no, seriously though, are you able to do that just from seeing someone on Zoom?
Yeah, on Zoom, sure. I do it best without makeup though. So it's a little bit, it's more vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll keep my makeup on for right now. However, okay. But that's a great offer. So how do people find that offer? So can you share your website with us?
Sure. It's theelevateinstitute.com. Don't forget the THE for theelevateinstitute.com. On the very front page, you'll see, yes, reveal it to me. It's the secrets hiding in plain sight. And you can upload your selfie from the form, and then I will personally look at it. It takes me about 10 minutes per person, and I'll write you back a personal message of this is what I see in your face.
Oh, that is awesome. That really is. And that just reminded me. So we'll make sure that we put that in the show notes. And we have a Facebook page for the 420 Hemp Talk Radio, but it's actually the National Association of Cannabis and Hemp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that video, Eva, that you did with the face, analysis. We'll put that into the Facebook group. So those that want to, learn a little bit more, it's a great video with Eva. She did a wonderful job just kind of outlining the offer that she just made, but she talks a little bit more in depth about that. So
and a lot faster. Sure. Yeah.
It's fast, but you know what? I kept up with you, and usually my brain is like trying to figure out, okay, let's figure this out, and then I stop. But I think today did a great job. We love the information. Thank you for spending time with me, Eva. It's been a pleasure. And
thanks for having me.
Yes, and we definitely want you to go check out Eva's website, so theelevateinstitute.com, and again, that'll be in the show notes. And we want to thank our audience for watching 420 Hemp Talk Radio. And for now, we'll see you next time, and hopefully you can catch all of our episodes on YouTube and also on Facebook. So bye for now, people. And Eva, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.